Welcome to the Afrobeat section of the Lily Black channel that captures the spirit, passion, and the glory of Tottenham Hotspur from an African perspective. Today is the FA Cup fourth round, Tottenham versus Man City, Angeball versus Pepball, FA Cup edition. See you inside.
Come on, you Spurs. Angeball versus Pepball. I love it. FA Cup edition. Welcome. This is Come on, you Spurs TV. Thank you, Truman, for that intro. Right, so let's just get straight into it. If this is your first time here, we're grateful to have you. If you've been here before, we thank you for your support. And we just want to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. At the moment, we're just over 500. And we thank everyone who supported us so far. We can't thank you enough. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that already, and hit the bell button to get notified anytime we have new videos or content on the channel. Right, come on, you Spurs. Right, Chuma, how are you?
Oh yeah, super good. Looking forward to this weekend or the end of the week's FA Cup match between Tottenham and Man City. It's going to be a cracker as always. Two teams that are very positionally sound, well coached teams, and you know that fixture has not failed to it's never disappointed actually. In the last couple of years now, it just seems to be that Tottenham have this sort of thing over Man City, and Man City are desperately trying to overcome that. You know, they are league champions, they are treble winners, but they just can't seem to beat.
They're World Cup champions as well. They're World Cup champions as well. You know.
Well, there you go. But for whatever reason, like every time they see the Spurs go marching on.
I know. I hope everyone who's a Spurs fan hopes that the Spurs go marching on Friday at 8 o'clock kickoff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Do you know something? That's one really, really weird fact. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was opened in 2019, and City have never won a game on that patch. In actual fact, I think they've actually lost every game they've been onto there. You know, I'm not sure they've ever played a draw there. You know, they've lost every time they've come there. You know, since that stadium opened. You know, and it's an amazing statistic. You know, considering how great a team City have been over the last few seasons with Pep in charge. You know, just don't seem to have that ability to overcome Tottenham. Right, and so we all hope that long may that continue. Right, FA Cup fourth round match. It looks like one of the sort of good opportunities for a trophy from Tottenham's perspective. Right, I mean, City have won everything out there, so they probably don't have as much motivation to win as Tottenham on paper. However, you know that winning breeds winning, if you like. You know, the more you win, the hungrier you are, and the more motivated you are. You know, so it will be a fascinating setup on Friday night. And Tottenham have strengthened in this transfer window, and over the last few weeks as well. A lot of players who have been injured are coming back, and the team is beginning sort of obviously like come together again. You know, and it's looking like going to be a fantastic push going into the second half of the season. And what a way to kick it off, you know, with this match against Man City. I mean, the prospects look good, don't they, from a neutral's perspective? You know, I mean, a lot of Tottenham fans will probably be, you know, those who have blood pressure tablets will probably have them close to hand, you know. But the likes of Optimus Primus, we don't care. we just sort of go with the flow, and we always want to win, you know. And we in our mind we're always winning, you know. I mean, what do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I agree. The thing is I think right now Ange is costing a lot of GPs money because I think the demand for blood pressure pills has slightly gone down with Tottenham fans because we know we're going to attack. We know we're going to give our all. We know we're going to go. And it's that thing that when you're sure, when you have pure faith. He's literally turning all of us into Optimus Primuses, and it's infectious as well. So let's see what happens. Like you said, the first 10 games of the season were like that was a Tottenham's mini championship. Certain fans said, "Oh, we think we've won the league after 10 games," but it was a joy to watch. A change of style. We're winning. You could feel the momentum, and then all of a sudden, those gentlemen from Stamford Bridge came and sucked all the
I was reading
air
something.
out.
Sorry to interrupt you, Chuma. I was reading something in the I think I'm not sure if it was a YouTube clip or an article, and essentially what the article was saying or the clip was saying was that everybody wants to watch Tottenham. Regardless of who you are. I mean, they even guys up the road, they say that we play exciting football and they're keen to watch us all the time. I mean, and like I was saying, oh my goodness, is that more pressure? Is that just something to say that, okay, fine, we now have that little ingredient that sort of makes us an attractive proposition, not just from the watching perspective, but even players actually want to come to Tottenham now. I mean, I guess it might be a little bit too early to sort of go big on that conversation, if you like. But I mean, the word on the street is that Dragoshin came to us even though he had the option of going to Bayern, and Bayern were actually going to pay him more, but he actually chose to come to. I don't know how true that is, but I know that Ange did say that he had a conversation with him, and that conversation presumably tilted him in our favor. Now, all of that is good news from a Tottenham perspective, and that sort of it should excite fans. It should create a lot of confidence in the team. It should give us that positive vibe, if you like, that drives people forward. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tell you something else in a minute. I'm sure you have a view on that, don't you?
No, no. For me, I like with the Dragoshin move. No one really knows if like he would have chosen Bayern or he wouldn't have, and they offered him more money, and all these things came out afterwards because his agent speaks a bit too much sometimes. All due respect to the gentleman, but yeah, it's exciting that you've had a couple of players and they've said the same thing. They've repeated the same thing. Now I spoke to Ange Postecoglou, and when he spoke to me, he told me exactly what it is he wanted from me and what he expected from me coming to his side. And I think that just takes people aback. That this man just you know he's almost mythic figure in Spurs already, and it's just 7 months in. The guy is doing legendary things. Ange is now doing legendary things at Tottenham. He's attained mythic status. It's only like 6 7 months, and people say, "Well, you're shooting too early with this legend and legendary," but it's what he's doing is really setting the tone for he's laying the foundations for something great that this man is building. And a lot of people, a lot of fans can see it. A lot of rivals can see it as well. And the only thing you can do at a point like this is to try to, what does it say in the Bible? It says the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He has no real power. So the only thing they can do is try to dent your faith, try to make you doubt him, try to make you doubt the progress, not process, but progress he's making. And he has made very, very, very huge strides progressing us. Because now we're coming into this match, and I believe a majority of Tottenham fans are going in there expecting to win, which is a very strange thing. We know City is who City are. We know who Pep Guardiola is, but my goodness, we're going in there going, we have a shot. If nothing else, we'll do our best and leave it on the pitch and see what happens.
This is it. I mean, giving it the best shot and hope for the best. And that has been what you might call our mantra all of this season. And it's not even a matter of hoping for the best. It's almost like you actually go out to want to win every match, which has been like Tottenham DNA this season. And this is a cup match. The last 6 matches you said, I mean, you had a bit of stats there, didn't you? About
in the last 6 games, head to head, Man City have lost 3. I think they've won 2 and we've drawn 1 game. So we're ahead of them in terms of that. And yeah, it's a very interesting stat. And like you said, they've never come to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and won. It's so fascinating that you have You have a ground that Pep Guardiola would go to, and it would be very challenging for him to win on. But that's what we have at the moment. So statistically, if you're a Spurs fan and you're only going on stats, yeah, you could really put your money on a win. But this is Man City. These are the quadruple winners. You can't just do that. But we're all going Optimus Primus this weekend.
Right. So the sides, are looking like
Yo,
I said, you've got Madison's coming back, Van der Ven, obviously, maybe back from injury as well, Romero. Okay, Son is away at the Asian Cup, so it's Bissouma, but we have Sa is still away as well, sorry. City at home, and they have the magician back. KDB, but it's not like we fear anyone, honestly, because he's always been there anytime we played them. So hey, it really doesn't make a difference to us who they line up, who we line up against, and for us is to do our best and give it our best shot. So let's sort of have a quick look at how we're likely to line up. You have the magic formula, don't you? You seem to have this direct line to Ange, and I always leave that side to you because you seem to always you always get it right most of the time, Right.
Most of the time. Yeah, it just depends on if I think the real question mark is if Madison comes back. If Madison comes back, or if Madison is going to play, which seems kind of likely that he will play some part, and I'd like to think that Ange Postecoglou is the kind of manager who plays the guy and takes him off as opposed to bringing him on as an impact substitute. We've seen that with Van der Ven as well. Everyone thinks that Van der Ven has come back into the side ahead of time, as opposed to, not that he was rushed, but maybe he shouldn't have started. But because we were so desperate for centre backs after Ben Davis's hamstring injury, he was grafted into the side really quickly. But I think that might happen with Madison as well, and I think Madison is chomping at the bits to play 3 months out and everything else. So if I were to predict a lineup, it would be Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro, Christian Romero, Mickey Van der Ven, Destiny Udogie. In midfield, I would go for Bentancur, Skip, and Madison to bring on Hoiberg in the second half or something to shore it up, and then probably push Bentancur further forward. And in the wide positions, you would have Timo Werner, Dejan Kulusevski with Richarlison up front. I think that would be the team that he would set up based on what he has.
That sounds like a good shout, But I think for some reason I have a feeling that he likes Brennan Johnson. He sees something that we all. A lot of Tottenham fans maybe do not see, but I actually like Brennan Johnson as well because, okay, sometimes maybe he seems too eager sometimes to sort of want to perform, and he sort of makes some errors, but you just get the feeling that when he gets it right, he's gonna be lethal. It reminds me of Gareth Bale. When he was like, up and coming, and people kept saying, all sorts of negatives about him, but he turned out to be a world beater. And something just tells me that that's something we have in Brennan Johnson, and he has this sort of calm about him as well, which is refreshing to see. He has this. I don't know if you ever listened to him in his interviews. He comes across as a fresh-faced young lad, who's like really awed by his whole surroundings, but at the same time remaining very humble and grounded, And you can see that he comes from a settled background, if you like, And that I think is going to serve him in good stead. In the years ahead. But I think we have a gem in that young man. Just waiting for him to sort of grow into that role and thrive and blossom. That's just a thought as far as I see from Brennan Johnson.
You're absolutely right. I think a certain section of the fan base, especially the fans online, they've been trying to get on his back. They've been saying things about him, but you have to understand that one, he's quite young. The role he played in Nottingham Forest is completely different to how he's playing it at Spurs. They are more a counter-attacking team. But here we are, we're a team that has possession and controlling. Notice also that when he first came in and he started playing, he was actually quite good because Madison was there pulling the strings and playing him in. He's a player that runs onto the ball, or you play it into him and he beats his man and crosses, as opposed to trying to dribble. And that, I think, is the essence. Everyone wants a dribble winger, but he's not a dribble winger or wide forward. He's just someone who runs onto the ball, similar to how Son is. And he can develop a dribbling side of himself, with more training, with more practice and stuff like that. But at this moment in time, the thing that works for him is running in behind, either putting in a ball or shooting. And if you give the right people, give him the ammunition, there's no doubt he will score. So my thing about Madison is it could be Madison. At the same time, it could be Kulusevski as well, playing that 10 position. If it's Kulusevski, then Brennan Johnson gets the start. Meanwhile, also as Madison's returning, is also, I think, a welcome back from Mano Solomon as well. Hey, Mano Solomon, remember him? And that, I think, is a welcome change, because he's more a 1v1 kind of person, and I think he's also eager to make his mark. I think he's been the forgotten man this season. And people are, nominating new wingers we're looking at and stuff, which is true. But
given the fact that, we have all these players coming back, we also have, KDB on their side, but we're not looking at them. We're looking at ourselves, And people say that, look, the FA Cup, you have 2 points of view. Some managers try and do a lot of testing, or what you might call rotation, just to keep the squad fresh, But I think that backfired against Ange when we played against Fulham in the League Cup. I'm not sure he wants to try that out this time round. So, and by and large, you probably find that most of the squad have had an input over the course of the season anyway. The only ones who haven't really had much of a go, if you like, have been the younger players. And I guess we probably won't see much of them this. At least not in this match anyway. Unless of course we're already 3-0 up and with 3 minutes to go, with no chance of City coming back. I don't know. What do you reckon?
Like I said, you've already gone far with your prediction. So 3-0 for you. We already know that now. Well played. But yes, I concur. I don't see any reason to play any young players in this game. I think he should go with the best side that he can get, because I think our next game is against Brentford. Midweek, I think it is.
Yeah, on the 31st of January. Right. So I don't know what day that falls on. Yeah.
So if we've got a midweek game, I think he can go. I think he can go all out, play everybody that is playable. The ones that come back from injury, give them like 50, 60 minutes and take them off and bring on other people. But I think the young players might still get to shine. They might get 5 or 10 minutes here and there, depending on what the scoreline is. But one thing, like you said, we know for certain Ange is going to go for it. We never give up. We keep going for it. So that's all that matters. And on to City Friday. Here we go.
Right, so give us a predicted scoreline. I said 3-0, like as in if we were 3-0 up, not that we're up. I was, I know I'm positive, but hey, the City we're playing against here. So let me start by saying that City will probably end up winning 2-0. That's my prediction.
I think
City 0.
I always put it that Ange Postecoglou always likes to get 2 goals at least minimum. And he strives for that. So I would go 2-1 to Tottenham, actually. I would say 2-1 Tottenham. City would score, but the hoodoo continues. And Tottenham and Spurs go marching in to the 5th round of the FA Cup with a 2-1 win. City will score, but I think Tottenham will score more. And I think the crowd will be so much behind the players that it will just take it to another dimension.
Beautiful. Right. So let's hear from you. Let's hear your thoughts. Who do you think? What do you think the scoreline will look like? And again, your comments on how Tottenham are performing so far, and how far do you think we'll go in this FA Cup competition? Are we going to go past this round? Are we going to go all the way? We'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.